breed.
Okay. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, continue to beam its searchlight on dealings by former governors in this regard. The EFCC has arraigned the immediate past governor of Anambra State, Willie Obiano, over allegation of 4 billion naira money laundering. The former governor, who appeared before Justice Ian Ekwo of the Federal High Court, Abuja, was subsequently granted bail. Now, Azuko, this governor was a banker, and after he ruled for 8 years, he checked out of Nigeria. We used to see him. He has a house in the United States, and he relocated back to, Now, from what I read to you yesterday, that a certain amount of 4 billion naira was taken out of the state account, and that amount was taken, and it was taken to the Bureau de Change,
and then changed.
And changed to dollars and given back to him in cash. When I saw that, the allegation, part of the allegation leveled against him, I said, these people, they finished us. As in, take the money to Bureau de Change, now change it to dollars
to
make it handy.
Yes, now so that they can, carry it. That is how we have turned ourselves into, those that we entrust our lives. Because governors are people that we entrust so many things. Once you go to vote, you know that you are voting this man to make your life better. At the end of the day, you see them still trying to steal from you or making life very difficult for you, And for this former governor, I remember immediately, he handed over. He wanted to run away, and they arrested him. And then the next thing, you saw him wearing bathroom slippers in DSS office, It's just so sad that we are coming to this point whereby people who have good names, in quotes, before, they've turned themselves into people that will have to start arraigning, and then seeing them, facing the judges,
So are you saying it's not possible to go through that system and you don't have your hands held?
Why not? It's possible, Ayo. It's possible.
Some people have done it.
The thing is, one thing about people is they need more. When once you have one, you need two, you need three, you need billions. People no longer, in Nigeria, what I've noticed is that people no longer want to be comfortable with what they have. They want to have more so that people can see them as gods.
But what they take,
so that they want to turn themselves into teen gods.
In their lifetime?
Yes. They want, in their lifetime, 4 billion. I think it's just this 4 billion that he has.
No, of course.
You think it's
That's
just
part of the...
Yes, and this is just security vote that they...
No, that is, yes,
just security vote. Don't forget, when he was arrested in 2022, it was about 53 billion of Shopee funds. That was then. So we have not even talked about that case, misappropriation of alleged misappropriation of Shopee funds then, and then this one again. So by the time you start calculating all these things, all these charges against him, you will just find out that these people, is it that Nigerian leaders or politicians are just, once it comes to that, when they get to power, they become mental when it comes to money, Now, you cannot stay in one room.
Okay, the argument might be...
You cannot say more than in one room.
Now, the argument can say this is a security vote. And that security vote, there's this impression that you don't account for it, that nobody will ask you about it. But EFCC is saying that your security vote, you converted it into raw cash.
We've always spoken about this security vote. And you find out that when the states are doing their breakdown of receipts from the Federal Allocation Committee, the security vote carries a huge chunk.
Who determines?
Yeah, that's what we're saying. That it all depends, because we always claim that security is topmost. So, unfortunately, from what we have seen over the years, because we still have some cases in court on this security vote issue. We still have some cases in court. Is that the spending of these votes is solely dependent on the governor. That's where the challenge is. It's solely dependent on the governor. So if the governor believes that carrying maybe 500 million or 1 billion voted every month around in Naira won't be good for him, it means he reserves a right to change it into dollar. That's why you find a lot of them, they spend dollar. Even when our economy should be running on Naira. So, we need to go back and redefine this thing that we call security vote. We need to redefine it. And on the second aspect, which Asokwa mentioned, I'm still going to say that all of these interventions that we do that are not part of our daily routine of running government, we need to stop it. We still have the case in the Humanitarian Affairs Ministry now. Because of all this, let us quickly intervene. We've seen the way people are handling funds pertaining to this Shopee, Empower, and all the rest. Most of that funds, they end up in the pockets of individuals who ambush the money. They don't get to the poor man on the street eventually. And that's what happened in this case of the Shopee funds. A lot of people just stayed at a checkpoint and they collected the money. Governors, ministers, and all the rest. Civil servants who are put in charge of disbursement. So we need to go back and look at this issue of security votes and talk about it. Because my fear, as in other cases, is that when this man appears in court for about another 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, people become tired of this case. Do we have solid evidence that can nail this case in the next 1 month? Do we have it? Do we want to keep wasting public funds pursuing cases that will not end in 5, 10 years? It's a big question that we must answer. So that once we are not sure of money these people have stolen, it's not as if we should allow them to walk away. But we should not go and spend public fund prosecuting cases that we can't conclude. But some other governors are still in court. Look at what happened with the election money during the Jonathan era. A lot of it is still in court. Most of them dismissed because they came under political thing. Some of them will say, okay, go and refund this. Go and refund this. But how much of it have we been able to retrieve? Yet our money for education of cases, they keep going up. Ministry of Justice will demand for so much to prosecute. EFCC we need. ICPC we need. Police we need. What do we get out of it at the end of the day? Are we recording losses or we are recording? Yes, you know? Yes, a lot of times. Even the EFCC, they have senior advocates from outside pursuing some of the cases for them. So what do we stand to gain when we begin? That's the question we must ask. Are we going to be able to retrieve this 4 billion naira from this former governor? If it's impossible to retrieve the 4 billion, then why are we embarking on the journey? Because we've seen others end up like that.
Who wrote this petition? Well, Wale from Ikorodu. Thank you for joining us, Wale. Hello, Wale. Wale.
Okay, so this petition was actually, this case was actually instituted by APC chairman, because
in Anambra State.
So he was now looking at this man actually misappropriated these funds, these security votes. So is a party, if you want to look at it, is a citizen of the state. So he has every right to,
yes, he has
to
right.
demand that, okay, how did you spend this money? Yeah. So that people will not say that, what is his own business? No. He lives there.
No. That's the standard procedure.
Yes.
With somebody must
that's,
the EFCC to follow up the case.
So EFCC, they wrote the petition and EFCC is following it up. So people whether you want to look at political undertone, that is another side. You understand? But for this one, the man feels that he was affected when he was governor. He had money for him. Yes, he had money for him to protect him, but the man actually used the money for other things. Yeah. So it's left for the ex-governor to now come to court and say, well, this is what I actually used the money for. I think, just like Dr. said, we don't need to belabor ourselves over most of these cases. If somebody has been caught stealing, we need to know where this case will end. If you are going to give us, if you are going to get a chunk from it, let's just do it and get a chunk, and then so that we don't come every day and be talking about so person has been arraigned or not arraigned. 4 billion, okay, sir, go and bring 3.5 billion. Simple. Okay. We don't need for us to be making noise over it.
All right. We'll take this breather. We'll be right back after this hour. Please stay with us.